Hello students, today I am going to explain you the 6th chapter of Hornbill. The name of the chapter is The Browning Version by Terence Rattigan. Introduction of the chapter. This chapter is a short extract from the play The Browning Version written by Terence Rattigan. It is a one-act play set in a school. There are 3 characters in the play: Taplow, Frank and Mr. Crocker Harris. Taplow is 16 years old student, Frank is a young teacher and Mr. Crocker Harris is a middle-aged schoolmaster. Taplow has arrived in the school to do extra work for Mr. Crocker Harris. He meets Frank and they both engage in a conversation while Taplow waits for Mr. Harris. Later enters Millie, Mrs. Crocker Harris, who talks to Taplow. Summary of the chapter. The scene is set in a school where Taplow arrives to do extra work on the last day for Mr. Crocker Harris as he missed a day before. He finds Frank, a science teacher, in the school. Frank asks him his name and the reason he is there that day. Taplow studies in the lower 5th standard and is about to get his result from his teacher, Mr. Harris. Mr. Crocker Harris usually reveals the result on the last day of school, and unlike every other teacher, he follows the rules and regulations strictly. They both started having a conversation where Frank asked him several questions. We don't see Mr. Crocker Harris in the whole chapter, but we get to know a lot about him. Taplow wants to take science as a remove because he finds the subject extremely interesting. Frank, on the other hand, doesn't like what he teaches in the school. Mr. Crocker Harris is hardly human, as he never shrivels up. He told Taplow that he will get what he deserves, nothing less and nothing more, and this makes him tensed. Taplow further imitates Mr. Harris twice in front of Frank. Taplow wants to take science as a remove because he finds the subject extremely interesting. Frank admits that he envies Mr. Crocker Harris because of the effect he has on them. Taplow told him that he never shows his emotions like other teachers and never beats them up like other masters. He is not a sadist. As they were deeply engaged in a conversation, Millie enters and comes with a shopping bag. She asks Taplow to go out and come back in a quarter of an hour, as Mr. Crocker Harris will be late. If her husband arrives earlier, she will take the blame. She further gives him a prescription and instructions him to purchase medicines for her from the chemist. Taplow follows and goes away to do the job. Thank you students. I hope you have understood the summary of this chapter. Thorough explanation of the chapter will be shared in the next video. Thank you once again for patience listening.